Alright, folks. Threatening. Oh, yeah. Whole Wakanda thing. So, yeah, basically just have Ultron try and take over Wakanda. And Black Panther has to ask for the Avengers' help because he can't handle Ultron alone, of course. Black Panther is strong, but he's not that strong. So, yeah, basically have him ask for Avengers' help. They have to get there, and they find Wakanda embattled, and Ultron's overpowering them. And then they go from there, and maybe have Ultron start the process of manufacturing vibranium bodies for himself. And that makes the fight even tougher, and it's an actual threat. Like I said, Ultron, as it stands in this movie, it wasn't much of a threat. I mean, the Avengers were tossing him around, his doubles around pretty easily. Even his main body, they destroyed pretty easily. So, just make him stronger, make it more of a threat. And make it so that it's an actual problem. So, yeah. That's the main change I would make. I would make it so that it wasn't Tony Stark that created him, because Tony Stark, I mean, really, his motivation for creating Ultron initially, or in the movie rather, is pretty lame, honestly. It just came out of nowhere. Tony Stark had never mentioned I don't remember the name he called it, the thing to create a coat of armor around the entire Earth. You know, that he'd never mentioned that before. He'd never mentioned his wanting to do that with AI or anything. Or really wanting to do it at all. It just kind of came out of nowhere. Kind of like Ultron creating the Vision, or actually wanting to put himself in a more, I guess, human body. I don't know. There's just so many weak plot points in the movie that could have been made a lot better if they didn't try to explain stuff so much. Because one thing about comics is, if they can't explain it easily, they just don't explain it. And people are okay with that. Not everything needs an explanation. Not everything needs to be completely explained. Give a brief explanation that makes some sense and move on. Just don't bog stuff down with over-explaining everything and write yourself into a corner where you have to give a character weak motivation to do something. It just makes the movie as a whole more weak. So, have Hank Pym create Ultron. His original intention with creating Ultron was basically because he could. I mean, Hank Pym is a bit of a narcissist. That was his character. He was a bit narcissistic. He was arrogant. I mean, he knew he was smart, and he knew it. So he did stuff just because he could. Doesn't need to be any more than that. I mean, he was kind of like Tony Stark, in a way, except more scientist and less technical. So, yeah, just have it be that. Just let it be what it was. Don't try and come up with another way to do it. I mean, Hank Pym is in the MCU. They have the rights to the character. Or maybe not even He doesn't even need be named Hank Pym. Have him be named something else, but same sort of character. I don't know. Just give somebody a logical, known reason for doing it. What it really boils down to, though, is this arc, this storyline was not done justice by having it crammed into one movie. It was a lot more complicated than that, including side issues and side storylines. The Age of Ultron arc lasted 26 comic issues. That's a lot. It took up a lot of an entire year. It was 2013. It took up most of that year. That's a lot. And that's not even including the aftermath stuff. So, to try and cram all of that into one movie just doesn't work well. They need to give it more time, and that's one of the main problems I have with a lot of the more recent Marvel movies. Pretty much since, I want to say since right after Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier, the main concern with the Marvel movies has been not on making them good movies. And I've said this before, when I did Civil War, how a Civil War movie could have been better. It's not on making it a good movie that stands on its own. It's about building the cinematic universe. And that is really detrimental to the movie as a whole, because the focus is not on making a good movie, it's on building the universe and making money, is what it really boils down to. And the movie really suffered from that. So I think the best way that this movie could have been better is if they had actually focused on making it a good movie and not on building the cinematic universe so they could make more money. Because the reason the original Avengers movie made so much money, and the original Captain America movie, and Iron Man, and even Winter Soldier, especially, actually Winter Soldier, I think that's the best Marvel movie out there, aside from maybe Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, maybe Guardians of the Galaxy. I like them both really well. The original Iron Man's really good too. What makes those movies so good is they are good movies standalone. You don't have to see any other Marvel movies to make sense of them, except for Avengers. But even then, with the original Avengers movie, the first Avengers movie, you didn't have to see the other movies for it to make sense, for it to be a good movie on its own. With a lot of the newer movies, like Age of Ultron especially, or Thor 2, or Captain America Civil War, or what's another one? Can't think of any other ones right off the top of my head. But you have to see the other Marvel movies in order for them to make sense. And that's not good writing. It should be a good movie on its own. Standalone good movie. And when you lose that, you might as well just stop. And my major concern with Infinity War is kind of the same concern I have with Age of Ultron. I knew Age of Ultron was a massive arc, and they were trying to cram it into one movie. Not so bad with Infinity War. They're making 2 movies of it. But Infinity War was even deeper storyline-wise. I mean, it was major. It was multiverse level. It affected multiple Marvel universes. And I'm really concerned. I don't know how good it's going to be. So, anyway, those are my thoughts on how Age of Ultron could have been better. Sorry it got split into two parts, but it happens. So, yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully it won't be another year before I make a video again. Alright, later.